Hi, I'm Dave Palmer and I'm coming to you from the iconic Story Bridge in beautiful Queensland, Australia. And I'm just doing a little bit of a follow-up review on this Sony Zv E10 camera made for content creators. So I'm out here to do some night shots, but if you are aspiring to get your hands on one of these Sony Zv E10s, I've got some groundbreaking news for you, particularly if you like to shoot in RAW. Well, here it is. The RAW files are not supported, and I'll tell you more about that later. So I've come out early in the morning and I'm going to try and do some night shots of the Brisbane CBD behind me, this awesome iconic city. It's not the biggest in the world, but it's gorgeous. And so I'll try to do some night shots with the camera of that, and also try and get a couple of nice shots of this bridge. So here goes, let's see how it works. Okay, so just so that you know, I'm not actually recording the audio through the onboard microphone on this camera. I'm using the Rode Micro Go little cube things, and I've got a Pro Lavalier mic on my jacket just to pick this up. So, okay, so just so that you know, I'm not actually recording the audio through the onboard microphone on this camera. I'm using the Rode Micro Go little cube things, and I've got a Pro Lavalier mic on my jacket just to pick this up. So, I think the sound's better passing all the cafes here. Just so that you know, I'm not actually using my Feotech G6 gimbal on this. I'm using a hand grip. It's a generic one. It's not the Sony hand grip that costs, I think, just under 200 Australian dollars. It's actually a JJC generic brand, and I like it. It does all the things, as far as I can see, that the Sony gimbal does. The only difference with this one is that you can actually remove the control pad. It's got Bluetooth, and so so this thing you can control the zoom. Look at that, the zoom works all from my hand, and so I like the idea of actually being able to hold this separate from the gimbal and film that way. So I think you just slide it back in. You can't see that, of course. Slide it back into the camera like that. It's pretty good. For those that like shooting RAW, there is a challenge I've discovered with this camera. I haven't seen anybody talk about it on YouTube yet, but this camera actually is not supported by Adobe. The RAW files, I should be more accurate, are not supported at the present time by Adobe, which means that if you try to put your photos into Lightroom, your photos, and you've taken them in RAW, it won't be recognized. I've tried to download all the software to convert it and what have you, and I think I'll put them on the screen. Different things I've tried and nothing seems to work, and so I went to the Adobe site and discovered that as yet Adobe don't recognize the RAW files, and so that will be something that they will probably update in the next month or so. It's a brand new camera. Apparently that's common, I've found out, with new cameras. Often the RAW files are not recognized, and so certainly on this camera the RAW files are not at the moment recognized. So if you're shooting in RAW, you'll find that you might be disappointed first up that you won't be able to convert the files to suit for Lightroom, certainly Lightroom 6, and I'm assuming it's the same with Lightroom in the cloud and what have you, subscription based. So the sun is coming out, which means it's time for me to head home. I'm hoping that this camera is, that the in-body stabilization is working at least a little bit. This is how it comes from camera. Okay, so I'm using a light now. My intention was to see if this camera was good with long exposure, the manual controls really. That's what I wanted to test out this morning, and it seems to be good, so I'm quite happy with it, and we'll see how it looks when I get it out of the camera. So as far as the manual controls are concerned, I'm happy with them on the Sony Zv E10, and that was one thing that I wanted. That's why I wanted a camera like this for vlogging and for hiking, something that's small and portable, and I believe this camera fits that bill, and so I think this will work well for what I want, backpacking and hiking and all that kind of thing. And so this is a bit of a road test, my first really out and about, and thought I would come into Brisbane city, well, or part of the city, and do this video recording. As for me, it's time to go home. I got work to do. Say goodbye from Brisbane.